Wouldn't it be great if you can just build your own business and start making income and you wouldn't need anyone? This is where we are today with AI. Anybody could start their own business. Before it was difficult. Like for me, I've been working on my own business for the last 3 years, but in the past 2 years, it was in the planning and then development for about a year. And what we've seen in the last few weeks, if I had those tools today, I would have probably built the business in a month instead of a year or two. Is because things are becoming very efficient. And at the end of the day, also you need mentoring. But building the product alone is not enough. You need the marketing. And that is the most difficult part. This is why I built my product, which helps other companies with their marketing, because that is always forgotten at the end of the day. But in this video, I'll be showing you how you can do the research, the design, and the coding in non-developer way. So anybody could do this basically, and they could start their SaaS. And we will actually be building a SaaS that does cold calling as an example. There will be a few tools we will be speaking about. The first tool will be Cursor. So the Cursor is the AI code editor that competes with VS Code from Microsoft. It is a fork, but it's a really good fork. It has the best model, has a model that came out yesterday, and it could use images as the web, does referencing, and it has at code base. This has been my dream for the past 2 years since I've heard about the AI, which is just tagging the code base and running it run loose. And especially with how fast this is going, it's going to be just better and better. Amazing. Download this to start with. And they have a pretty generous free tier. And if you're using it a lot, if you're going to build your own SaaS, then yeah, it's going to cost you a little bit, but it's only $20, which is nothing compared to hiring employees. And then the second thing for doing the front end bit, we'll be using V0 from Vercel. It is one of the best. There are competitors like Bolt and such, but they don't come close to how good the designs are from V0. And Cursor could also do designs, but it's not as real time as V0. So that's why we'll be using it. And then in order to create our identity and find the competitors and do analysis, we would need to use some deep search. Now, it will take you a minute and two to do that by using a tool like Grok. I'm showing you Grok as well because it's the latest, Grok 3. It's free. If you have a Twitter account that's premium, then it's not going to take you like 5-6 minutes. It will just take you a minute or two. So that is my preferred way to do it. So we will be creating a tool called AI Caller that does cold calls for small to medium businesses. And this is SaaS. Right. Target market will be where I live, Norway, and audience is going to be SMBs. So we will start with our first prompt for the research. I want a comprehensive analysis of all companies offering AI-powered calling solutions. For each competitor provide these things: feature list, value proposition, positioning, market strategies, the company names and links, and please ensure that response is structured, complete, and includes only companies actively involved in this. So the reason we're using deep search is we want to scan the internet, and deep search is also available on ChatGPT, but I found it more accessible on Grok, and there's no limits from what I've seen so far. It's just a bit slow on the free plan. So I have the X Twitter Premium, and it works perfectly. So let's start it, and I will be just fast forwarding. Now it's done. It took about 2 minutes. It did 72 sources. And if we just scroll down here, you're getting the key points, you're getting the overview, and every single tool. And there should be a table on the bottom. So here it says a comparative table. It's giving you the transcription, the real-time coaching, the analytics, the dialer, and the CRM integrations. So that's a really nice competitive analysis. So what we would need to do, we will be asking it to use the data provided to make a positioning statement for our company and a feature list towards my target audience. Please provide a full description that I can use to develop the product. And we'll be taking this description and putting it into the next step, which is designing the front end for it. So now we have our new response. So let's just copy this. And it looks, the value proposition I like. The full product description is good. This is the featured list, and this is the positioning statement. And then we're going to go to our next tool. So create this product landing page for me. Just paste that into V0 and let it get to work. I would also maybe create a project because if you're going to have multiple revisions of this, it will be nice to fork it and do it inside of a project. So now let's see the website. It says unblock your sales potential. Tailored for small to medium businesses. There's a free trial, and you could see it has given it a name, Norway AI. Nice. And there's a login button and a features. Create for me the actual app. Once I click on login, I expect to see the features. And now we are creating the features for the app. And this will lead us to the next phase, which is cursor. Things don't break there because they're making it into components and stuff. But it's also pretty good because V0 is getting better and better, and it shows us the errors and we can just fix them. So now I get the dashboard. I got today's calls as a nice concept. There's a conversion rate, how many meetings this basically booking. I could see the campaigns and then the recent leads. You have the auto dialer and all those things that are not created yet. This is good. Let me just ask it two more things. I just want it to have the landing page still. And when I click login, I want it to fix the graphs. And then from there, we were just taking all this code into cursor and developing it further. Here, right? Here we can just click the code and then we can see the different pages. So one of the pages is called dashboard. So if we just click here /dashboard, then we should be taken to the dashboard. And we can see that the trends are also fixed. And now we want to take all of this and just develop it further. We will not be doing it in V0. For example, the colors and the font and all this is super important. There are specific prompts that I use, for example, to get that brand identity right. This is just very plain and boring, but it works for the demo. And we want to download the codes. There is MPX. We could just copy this and download it. After you download it, you just open the app cursor and it will open like this. There will be some prompts and a sign up process you need to finish. So do that on your end. But what we want to do is we want to click this toggle panel button here. And then we get access to the terminal. So you just go here, copy this command and put it into the terminal and you click run. And then it asks you for the password. You enter the password and click enter again. And from there, what will happen is it will download and it will give you 2 lines of code that you would need to copy and paste them towards the end. And then you would just write brew, install, and then NVM. This is the JavaScript switching program that you would need. I already have it installed as well. So once you do that, it will also give you 2 lines of code that you need to copy paste in order for it to be accessible from the terminal. And once you have NVM, you just write NVM install LTS. And this will install the latest version of Node or the stable version of Node. And then you write NVM use -LTS. And that's it. What you have to do now that you can actually download the code. And you do that by going to V0 again, and then just clicking here on the dash, and then it says add to code base, copy. And now we can just paste it in and then follow the few instructions. So it says, first, would you like to start a new project? Yes. And then let's see, we call this Norway. So we're just going to call it that. And it will take a few minutes to download everything and create it. And now it's installing all of the components and dependencies. You just click yes on everything here. And then now the code is downloaded and ready for us to run it locally and use actually this cursor to help us. So we want to get the cursor chat, and we can do that using these buttons on top. This toggle will give us the chat, the composer, the bug finder. If you don't see one of those, then it's probably not added. But what's amazing with cursor is it has basically access to your whole code base. So we will start with going into this folder, and we do this by writing cd space and then the name of the project. So that would be Norway, and then click enter. And then we would like to run it. So we just write npm run dev. And if we've done everything correctly, you should get the local host and you could open it. So you see here, you follow the link, you hold command, and then you just click this button here, and it will open it in the local host. And we should see the same thing that we've seen in V0. Then you're going to the login page, you go to the dashboard page here, but this page works. So now what's amazing here is, since it's not working, I can just literally copy this code and I could ask it hashtag base. When I try to run my code and go to /dashboard, I get this error. Fix it. And then it will just check all of the files, see what's wrong, and try to fix your error. If we open app, and then we see the page, and then everything is working except these line charts. They are red. That means they haven't been downloaded correctly. So let me just prompt it one more time. Now it says, yeah, this can happen because one of the import components is undefined. And then it's literally giving us the code here to fix it. So we can just click accept. And then we could also apply this or run this command. So it opens a new terminal for us here and it runs it. So this is how you would be developing. Basically, you would just be chatting with the composer, asking it to do things for you, and just opening the browser and seeing these things implement in real time. So some code knowledge takes you actually a really long way here, because if you know what these components are and how they're being imported and the structure of the code, then you could do things much faster, but it is not a must. And there's a little trick here where you can use the best model here, Cloud 3.7 thinking. This is the best model that exists. So you want to actually switch the model here on the bottom. It came out yesterday, and it is one of the best development models. So I know that the reason this is not working is because these, also bar chart and line chart, these are Shatson components, not chart. I'm going to create a new chat, and then I'm going to tell it code base. Create for me a prototype for all of the elements in the sidebar. And then I'm just going to let this run. And these are amazing as proof of concept. So let's accept everything. And now the page auto refreshes and there is some missing packages. Okay, so now I think I fixed everything. So let's try to run it one more time. Cool. Now we have the auto dialer. This looks like a good example. Start dialing, and as we said, this is not integrated to any back-end system. The lead prioritization, let's see that. You have actually leads. You have them categorized into different categories. Usually developers spend weeks just getting into this spot. And then if you want to build the integrations and so on, you could just keep prompting a composer, and the more help you get from a developer, the faster it will go. So this is not a no-code tool, but it's definitely helping junior developers and senior developers to code way faster. And even if you don't know how to code, if you get some help from someone, you are able to do everything by yourself.